Change is the only constant thing in life. There comes a time when you might want to start doing things differently, and for that to happen, you need to make certain changes in your life. That's the whole idea behind this video. My name is Chris, and you're welcome to my channel. So, in this video, I'll be talking about 5 ways to reinvent yourself. If you're ready for the show, I am ready. So, let's dive into it. So, to reinvent yourself, you must approach it from a place of positivity. If you feel that there's something wrong with you, and for that reason you need to reinvent, then you're going about it the wrong way. You cannot bring about positive change if you feel that there's something wrong with you as a person, because the change you seek isn't going to happen externally. It's going to come from within, and it's going to come from the same person, and that is you. So if you feel that there's something wrong so terribly with you, it might be difficult because your perception of yourself as an individual is flawed. Okay, so the change you want to bring about is good, the reinvention is good, but you're not doing that because there's something so wrong that you need to change. Instead, you're trying to make an improvement. When you look at it as an improvement, it's easier to process, it's easier to manage, because then you're excited about the prospect of things being better. But if you feel that things are so bad, you are so bad, you're so terrible, you might not even have the will to go on with the reinvention that you seek. So it's about your mindset. That's where it begins. Stop looking at it from such a negative angle, thinking that, oh, you're such a bad person, you're so terrible, you're a failure. No, 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 none of that is going to work, okay? The reinvention you seek is nothing but an improvement. And with that improvement, it just means that you are going to be a lot better than you have been. Even if you've been so great, there's a chance that you can't be better, and there's nothing wrong with that. The second tip on how to reinvent yourself is to identify the particular areas of your life you want to reinvent. You don't just say, oh, I want to change my life. That is so ambiguous. Where do you even start from? Because there are different aspects, of your life. So which ones are you talking about in particular? For instance, you might want to say, okay, I want to reinvent my health, my physical health, my mental health, the way I feel, my emotional well-being. You need to break it down into bits so that you can go about it in a more defined way. Otherwise, you'll just be all over the place. Okay, what exactly do you want to reinvent? What exactly have you noticed that could be better in your life? For instance, if you want to be more fit than you are, then you might want to consider exercising more often. That could include registering with a gym where you could go and work out. And if you're consistent with your workout routine, there's a higher chance that you could actually become more fit than you already are right now. And you could also come up with a plan, like a food plan, what to eat and when to eat and the portion to even eat. When you do all of these things, it's easier for you to reinvent your physical health, to reinvent your physique, your appearance, compared to just making a generalized statement, oh, I want to reinvent myself. The question is, what exactly do you want to reinvent? If you want to reinvent the relationships with people, then you need to be more deliberate in how you interact with people. You need to be more deliberate in the way you talk to people, the way you speak to people, the way you approach people, and even in how you present yourself. Because at the end of the day, people are drawn to you by your presentation, by what they see. A lot of people, for instance, who are clean would want to associate with clean people. A lot of people who are fashionable, might want to associate with other fashionable people. So it's about presentation. Identifying the bits that you really want to reinvent helps you to channel your efforts in that direction. The third tip on how to reinvent yourself is to picture your ideal self. You can't reinvent something you don't know. You can't reinvent something you haven't envisioned. Okay, who is that person? What do they look like? What do they do? How do they behave? How do they carry themselves? You need to answer those questions, and the best way to go about it is to picture it. Okay, you need to daydream it. Okay, create that mental picture in your head, in your mind, and see what they look like. And when you have a better picture of what they look like, then you can begin to, channel yourself, your efforts, make efforts towards looking like them, towards acting like them, or behaving like them. If you cannot envision the reinvention you seek, it's impossible for you to get there because, as I said, you can't become what you don't know. You can't become what you can't even see. It all starts with your mind. It all starts with what you see and how you see it. Create that mental picture. When you do that little by little, you find yourself, gravitating towards that image that you have envisioned, that image that you already have in your mind, and somehow things will begin to fall in place and things will begin to happen that will take you closer to that person, that image, that personality that you've already pictured so strongly in your mind. Having envisioned the person you want to invent yourself into, it's time for you to set achievable goals and targets. This is you asking yourself, what do I need to do to become that person? What do I need to do to get to that point? What can I do to move from point A to point B? What habits do I need to cultivate? What sort of activities do I need to start to do? You need to identify those activities because without them, you're just going to be stuck in that same spot that you are. It's about the doing. Something has to be done because if you don't do anything, if you don't take any actions, it's almost impossible for you to achieve the reinvention that you seek. Okay, it's time for you to sit down, roll up your sleeves and start to map plans out. What is the plan? What do I need to do? And these plans have to be practical. They need to be achievable. You don't have to set targets that are so impossible to achieve. No, if you do that, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. Plans in this stage must be practical, they must be feasible, and it's important that you start with the very little steps. You can't jump from 1 to 50. No, it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up. It has to be in a sequence. Okay, imagine it to be a staircase. You can't jump from the very bottom to the top. No, you have to take it one step at a time. Your goals and targets must be sequential in a way that one thing leads to another. And as long as you're consistent in doing those things, it's only a matter of time before the reinvention you seek becomes your reality. Reinventing yourself is impossible if you cannot step out of your comfort zone. I know that it can be difficult when you're used to a particular thing, a particular lifestyle. Leaving it behind, getting out of it can be very, very difficult. But if you are very serious about reinventing yourself, about starting a new life, about beginning a new chapter, you must take the steps you need to take to get out of your comfort zone. Okay. Yes, you can't be afraid. Yes, you might feel like you don't even have what it takes to do it. And that's okay. It's fine for you to have those doubts. It's fine for you to second guess yourself. But guess what? You don't need to dwell on those things for too long. When they come to your mind, you need to shake them off. Okay, get out of your comfort zone. You may not be able to achieve anything extraordinary, anything you haven't achieved before, if you find it so hard and impossible to get out of your comfort zone, no matter how difficult it is. You need to keep trying to get out of your comfort zone. Getting out of your comfort zone in this case is about doing things that you are not used to, things you're not accustomed to, perhaps things you haven't done before, taking steps you've never taken in the past, going places you've never been, talking to people you've never spoken to. It's about doing that thing or those things that are not comfortable. And the more you do them, the closer you get to achieving the reinvention that you seek. When you look at it critically, you can see that the majority of people would rather stay in their comfort zones because that's what is familiar to them. That's what they know. But on the other hand, are people who are not afraid to get out of their comfort zones. And guess what? Those are the people that end up doing extraordinary things. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. Okay, so if you're really serious about reinventing yourself, about becoming a better person, you must get out of your comfort zone. You must take the bull by the horn. Otherwise, you are just going to be in that same spot, and all you're going to keep doing is wishing and saying, oh, I would love to do this. I wish I could do this. Guess what? You can actually do it. You just need to be bold enough to get out of your comfort zone. Last but not least is to surround yourself with like-minded people. So the reinvention that you see, yeah, to achieve it faster, you need to expose yourself to people who think the same way as you, people who have the same thoughts, the same ambitions as you. Because when you are in their midst, there's a high chance that you guys will be talking about the same things. And the more you talk about the things you want to achieve, the closer you get to them. You may not even realize it, but subconsciously ideas will just be popping up. Most of the things you do would be in that direction. So surround yourself with people that think alike. Go to places that remind you of the reinvention that you're trying to achieve. Expose yourself to things that remind you of it. The more you do that, the stronger the mental picture of your goal will be in your head. And it's only a matter of time before it manifests in your world. There you have it, how to reinvent yourself, how to shake things up and lead a more fulfilled life. You see, one of the greatest setbacks we have as humans is feeling so afraid to do things, feeling like we're not good enough, second guessing ourselves, and all of that. Well, it's perfectly normal. So it's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed about. Okay, but the thing is, even when you feel that way, you need to shake that feeling off and move on and get on to what you need to do. It is entirely, completely possible for you to invent yourself, and you can actually achieve it without having to do anything so extraordinary. Okay, start with the little things, take little steps. Don't be so hard on yourself. No, don't be so hard on yourself. It's all about the small steps, and before you know it, the small steps will become big steps. Take a look around my channel. You'll find lots of other interesting videos. My name is Chris, and it was nice talking to you in this one. See you in the next one.